I'm so sorry. I did not. I'm
It's not your fault.
Yeah.
I'm so angry right now. Like,
Uh-uh. And we've been having, it's always something,
yeah,
literally, since we
yeah,
started. And
yeah.
it's always something. It's always
It
something.
really is. So I'm going to copy. This is funny. This is like hilarious right now to me. This is funny. Not really, but it's funny.
So
So
this is the link
can't
for.
be on Facebook because I'm locked out, but I just sent the link to the YouTube chat. I mean, to the YouTube link in the chat. So it's in the chat. So if you all want to share it to your pages and let them know I can't do that because I'm locked out, that would be great.
Let me do that real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that as well.
Yeah, this is fun. Love it. I love it. First the headphones, now Facebook. Anyway, so I'll wait till Jer comes back before we can get started. And we're actually on a timer, so I gotta
Okay.
hurry up because we have another show starting. This is lovely. I love it.
Post. Make sure that this is working. All right. I posted.
Thank you, dear.
You are welcome.
I'm trying now.
I think I might have too many accounts.
Yeah, because you have.
Well, because I for my business, I have too many accounts. So, all right, we're gonna record. That works.
Yeah, that works.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, girl.
What's up, y'all?
What is
Hey.
So we are back for another Hey Girl Hey podcast episode. I have no idea what I sound like because I'm using my backup headphones thanks to Xfinity. You know, Xfinity gives out those free headphones. So I don't know what we sound like, but we look great. If you're watching on YouTube, we appreciate you checking in. I am your radio chick, Kiki Brown.
I'm y'all millennial chick, Jerry Tipton. What's up, y'all?
And the chatter chick is out today. She's taking some time off, but we have the doula chick in the building. Your black doula, Miss Kie Edwell. Hey, Chica.
Y'all.
How you doing?
Hey, y'all. I'm good. I'm great. I'm excited to be here. I'm
so happy that you said yes, that you be here. I'm so happy that you are with us. And you have to follow your black doula on TikTok. Make sure you follow her on TikTok. Also follow her on IG.
That's it right there.
And Facebook. Hilarious.
I love
you have
that.
to teach me how to TikTok because oh my gosh, I'm so puzzled when I get to TikTok. Yeah. So we're gonna talk more about your business. You have a nonprofit and it's called the Elephant Song Doulas, correct?
Well, we are not a nonprofit.
Okay, you're not a nonprofit. Okay,
we are for profit. We're a private doula practice, Elephant Song Doula Services.
Okay.
And yeah, so we provide physical, mental, emotional support to birthing families, and we provide educational support, lactation support, all kinds of goodies. And now we're kind of making our first big move to our new location right in the Garfield Bloomfield area. We are
congratulations. I saw that. You got a building. She got a building.
Yes.
So we're going to talk more about that in the second half of the show. But first thing, so we got to talk about hot topics.
Oh, yes.
You may have heard. Yes. Do you know anything about Kevin Samuels? We've talked about him on the show before, but I don't know who. I know he thinks he knows something about women.
Yeah.
But I guess there's a petition that's calling for him to be removed from YouTube and Instagram, according to the Jasmine brand, stating that they're removing his voice of divisive vitriol.
What?
And will allow women to feel safer, not only in public spaces, but in online communities as well. Freedom of speech is a constitutional right for each of us. However, when that speech is loaded with thoughts and threats of violence towards women, manipulation of young women, and even fantasies of death to women, that freedom of speech becomes a prison for all people whose thoughts and desires are intended to isolate. I mean, it was a long, lengthy message, but it's stating that women feel unsafe in the presence of men who identify with his ideology. So I don't know what that is. I do know that so far he's received, the petition has received 6,619 plus signatures out of 75, which is the 7,500, which is the final goal. Y'all speak, because I just noticed that dude wears really tight suits and glasses and talks about women. So go ahead, Kie, you give us the tea.
Well, I know a little bit of the tea. I haven't sat in I'm in the social media space, so I know this name, and I've caught kind of clips, from the different blog sites and things like that of his, lives, going live with different women, but I've never actually tuned in for obvious reasons. That ain't my tea. That ain't my type of tea. But and so just from those little clips I've seen, what he says and his way of thinking is dangerous. It is a dangerous way of thinking. We are already living in a society that is very patriarchal in nature, that has already set things up so that women are already feeling very vulnerable and very unsafe. And when you have people that are spewing this kind of hate, this is the He-Man Woman Haters Club times 100. Like he
hates women. He hates women.
That's what I feel. I mean, the way that he speaks about women, it's very never positive. So, it's giving I hate women, or I have some type of unresolved issue that I need to, that's what it's giving. So I can understand the petition. I can understand it.
Okay. Jared, what you got?
I just want to know who hurt that man for him to just act that way.
Them suits.
Like,
them were tight. Them suits was tight.
I mean, you just know it was a little girl in the 3rd grade that he ain't never forgot about. I mean, you just sound bitter, sir.
There's a difference between freedom of speech and, like you said, sounding bitter, and just being just overall just nasty. And I get it. Like, we all have our opinions. We all have our rights. But just some of the things he just says is just baffling. It's like he talks down to you, for some of the decisions or some of the things that you say or whatever. I've only heard his name a few times, from blog sites or whatever, but I don't follow his channels or anything. There's this one girl, is a funny girl. She's a social media comedian, and she had kind of mocked his interview or something like that, and I kind of understood it on a funny side, you know what I mean? Just to get a grasp of how he interviews with people, because I've never seen it, but from what other people have said, his interviews with, women are just not too pleasant, So I can understand the petition, you know what I mean? Is it
gonna stop? It's not gonna stop him. He'll find other platforms.
Yeah. Well, he will definitely find other platforms.
It seems like stunts like this make him more famous.
I was going to say it's giving him more.
Unfortunately, I think he's loving the negative attention, and is probably going to try to spin it into, more ways to feed his own ego.
Is he a narcissist? See, I don't know him. I've never even watched him. I refuse to watch him. I refuse to watch Baby Boy. I just can't do that to my spirit. It ain't right. It ain't right. What is other things that's not right is how critics are going at the athletes, coming at the athletes about how they are expressing their concerns about what's happening over in Tokyo for the Olympics. And LeBron James is speaking out. And he's speaking out about silencing the athletes with political protesting bans. So, the whole shut up and dribble situation, he's always stood up for himself, which I get it. And I applaud him for this. His media company, Uninterrupted, his long-term business partner, Maverick Carter, criticized the International Olympic Committee their Rule 50, and it's a controversial rule that prohibits demonstrations along with political, religious, and racial propaganda at the Olympics. It also includes peaceful demonstrations on the podium. So I guess you can't, you know, the Rule 50 is the reason that all Olympic competitors have been banned from donning the BLM apparel or kneeling during the national anthem while participating in sporting events.
They cracking down. They said we ain't dealing with that over here. Oh my God.
Do you think it has to do with the woman that turned her back when they sang the national? I know the guys from Urban Media Today Talk Sports may talk more about this, but what do you think? You think that has something to do with it too?
I absolutely think so. I absolutely think so. And we've seen this before where we've just been nitpicked and, you know, all these extra rules that only seem to apply to us, right? That only seem to kind of, if they don't just only apply to us, they seem to only be enforced when it comes to us. Yeah. We've seen this before with the Olympics and these different organizations that are, you know, that all make up the different organizations that compete with the Olympics. We've seen this. Like, unfortunately, this is not, you know, this is not new. It's just, I'm so glad that we are now seeing even more athletes that are not afraid to speak out against this, because it's not just about money. And at this point, that's what I see with the Olympics, that they're, you know, it's just the money and you know, your country looking amazing in front of the world. And you know, we got bigger things to worry about than that right now. And this is just proof of that.
Right.
Jerry.
Yeah, they're doing all of that because of, you know, the history in the past of what, you know, anytime, especially when it comes out to like police brutality, a lot of athletes have spoken out on it. Colin Kaepernick, of course, you know, LeBron James, so many other people. They're wearing socks, they're wearing shirts, they're putting it on their helmets. And
Naomi Osaka wearing the mask with the, you know, with the names.
So we know why they're doing that. And like you say, they nitpick, you know, they're like, oh, they don't want to, you know, make it look, I'm trying to think of the perfect way to say it, but they don't want to get into that type of
the racial politics or whatever. But I mean, I would say that maybe they're not, because they just fired the director from the Olympics who made some sort of a joke about the Holocaust. And so they're like, look, ain't none of this happening over here. They're kind of like, you know, this is just the Olympics. This is not the opportunity for you. We get it, but this is not the opportunity. We just need you to play. That's it. I wouldn't play.
I wouldn't either.
I would not play. Well, number one, it's not safe, period.
I
wouldn't play.
That's literally the first thing I'm thinking about. Why every time we hear about the Olympics, like, why are we having this?
Why are you even over there? Just don't play. You're still the greatest. You're the fastest. You're the best. And that's it. Like, why are you even playing? But kudos to LeBron and Maverick. They said sports is not neutral. When athletes speak up, whether from a stadium, gymnasium, or track, they start conversations and things change. Give athletes the chance to show up fully and to make a change, or to make change. And you are. I get it. I do get it. But at the same time, if you realize that this is not the platform that you can be vocal 100%, then don't use that platform. You have that platform here over in the States. Your country is allowing you the freedom of speech where you can do that. You're going to get some critics and people are going to say, shut up and dribble, but you do have that platform. This is the Olympics. It's not the country that you live in. They don't honor that. And so you either play or you don't play.
Right.
I don't know, but kudos for them for standing up. Shouts to Dr. Dre. Payday coming. $300,000 a month. Dang.
Wow.
This woman will not have to do anything. She got $3.5 million a year in spousal support from her ex-husband. The order read, Dr. Dre is ordered to pay Nicole Young spousal support in the sum of $293,306 per month, payable on the first of the month. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. So get up, get up. August 1st is payday. Yes, run me my money, run me my money. He's also responsible for providing her health insurance. The order will remain in effect until she either remarries, finds a new domestic partner, or either party dies.
She ain't gonna never get married again. Married, it's over. You know what I'm saying?
She might listen. It ain't tricking if you got it. He got it. He'll be all right. And they've been married a long time. Ain't no telling what done went on in that marriage.
$300,000 a month.
She ain't gonna never have to work.
He'll be all right. He'll be all right.
Lord have mercy.
Now I when they
it's cheaper to keep a partner.
It is definitely cheaper to keep her.
Lord.
Like
RIP to a few celebrities gone too soon. Biz Markie, legendary rapper, DJ, beatboxer. Biz Markie passed away at the age of 57. It's undetermined what he passed away from. I know it was complications from I don't know if it was a seizure or diabetes. I'm not sure. And Miss Frankie, man down situation. Keisha Cole's mom passed away on her birthday at 61. And there's rumors that was going around that it was a parent overdose, but you know, even if it was true, I just think that's foul to release that. You know, that's her mom. That's Frank. That's Neffy's mom, and you know, it's just not good. So before we wrap up, we got Who the F Cares news. Now, Kie, I'm not sure if you know about this. This is stuff that we go, okay, whatever. So what? So some of these headlines: Harvey Weinstein pleads not guilty to sexual assault charges in LA. Now, I'll plead guilty in New York, but not in LA. Okay. I was only touching people in New York and not LA. So you ain't gonna get me in LA.
Pin that other stuff on me.
Listen, I ain't called her, I ain't touched her. Now, if we was in New York, I did. But when we were in LA, I didn't. He's looking at a maximum of 140 years behind bars. He ain't getting out. So yeah. So I always joke around and say, if God gave me like $1 kabillion, what would I do with it? Like, I would act a damn fool. Would I buy a planet? Lil Uzi Vert reportedly bought his own planet.
Island.
A planet.
At least, you know,
a planet. Help me understand. Help me understand.
What I'm gonna do with a planet? Like, that's not practical at all. Who's traveling to visit you?
So just like the waste money. That's like,
give me the money.
Right. I'm standing right here, Lord. I'll do right with it. You ain't got to worry about
I'm gonna be stupid. He know I'm gonna be stupid. That's why he won't give me the money. He's like, nope, you're gonna be dumb.
Don't give it to
her. Be dumb. You don't need that many shoes.
Planet right next
Why
door.
You got all them shoes? What you need on them? You only got 2 feet. What you need all them shoes for?
Where you going?
So that's why he won't give me none. I'm gonna try and fit fan mail in here. We got 14 minutes. So the fan mail says, always a damn bridesmaid. My best friend is getting married in a few months, and I'm pissed that she didn't make me her maid of honor. Her sister and her cousin are her maids of honor. No one is married, so there's no matron of honor. I guess that's how that goes. I've been by this girl's side for years, since high school. We may have fallen out a few times throughout the years, but still, ! I'm the one, I cannot wait to hear Kie on this one. I'm the one who helped her. I see her in my left eye. I'm the one who helped her get her job at the airport. Oh, real specific. I introduced her to her father's son, and although they didn't make it, if I didn't, she wouldn't have my handsome nephew. She is pissed. Her sister, I get, but her cousin, plus I'm like 4th in line. Nobody pays attention to the 4th bridesmaid. I'm hot. I haven't said anything because I don't want to hurt her feelings, but this is telling me that maybe our friendship isn't what I think it is. My boyfriend says I'm being overly dramatic. Am I? I'm gonna take a sip of my juice box. Go ahead, Kie. What you got?
I definitely think she's being overly dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
But to say nobody pays attention to the fourth bridesmaid.
This ain't your day. Like, this literally is not your day. Like,
Right.
come on. You don't have a right to have a say in much of anything. I mean, that's just kind of the way it is traditionally. You know, usually when you're close with someone, they're kind enough to, hey girl, what you think about this? Hey girl, what you want to do with that? But you cannot tell somebody who to put in their wedding and what place to put them in. Like, girl, it's not that serious.
It may not even have been her. It may have been because, you know, mom or dad is paying for the
Right.
wedding and they probably don't like you. And so they were like, you better put little Shakira up there.
Now, you know, that's your
and
cousin,
your sister,
right?
put your
It might
sister
just
and your
be-
cousin up there. Yeah.
Yeah, it might just be that's family. A lot of times
Yeah.
family are, you know, they're like, that's family. You put your family in your wedding
Mhm.
first, and then you put, you know, it's probably just, you know, a situation like that. And if, you know, she wasn't so in her feelings, she might have been able to just sit with her friend and be like, girl, hey, like, I thought I was gonna be up there. But she being dramatic. They probably gonna fall out for good over this foolishness.
Jerry, you ever been the fourth bridesmaid?
Yeah, I was actually maid of honor. It was my sister's wedding, and she told me from the jump, like, you know, I was going to be her maid of honor, and her best friend of since she was in high school was in the wedding. You know what I mean? And my cousin. So like, some people follow tradition, like you said, they put their family in first, like their sisters, their cousins, you know, and then if they could, they'll put their friends. Mm-hmm. For example, one of my friends is getting married in September, and one of her close friends was like, oh, I'm not in the wedding, but she put in her family, and then she put in his sisters in the wedding and stuff like that. So I guess if you think about it from a traditional standpoint, I understand. Then again, I mean, that some people shouldn't expect it. You know what I mean? Just because I don't think she said her best friend, but her close friend, and you know, she helped her with this and that doesn't mean anything, you know. Like, this is why whenever I do get married, I don't even know if I want to deal with bridesmaids, because I already know how that's going to be. Why am I not the maid of honor? Why am I not in this? Why? Nope. I don't want to. Nope. I don't.
Nope.
You know,
I don't even want to be a bridesmaid, or I don't, because then you have to figure, like, you have to go through the dress rehearsal and the dresses you may not like. It is a lot.
Mm-hmm. You know, one of my friends who got married last year, she didn't have no bridesmaid. She didn't want to deal with it. She's like, Jerry, I don't want to deal with this. And she literally just got married. You know, she still had a wedding, but with no bridesmaids, and he had no groomsmen. You know what I mean? Like, so I get that. It's too much of a hassle. Friend, she should be lucky she's in the wedding. You know what I mean? Now, if she wasn't in the wedding,
you better be the best number 4 in you better put that number 4 on the map, girl.
Go in the
You better stop. So my cousin just got married this past weekend in Virginia. And let me tell you something. They got married outside in like 90-degree weather. She had like 15 bridesmaids. 15 groomsmen, had to match it up. But and it was so unique. Like, it was so them. Like, they're the partying couple. Like, so-and-so got my first job, and she got her first job. We about to have a barbecue, about to have a cookout. Like, any little celebration, they're doing it real big. They do it real big. And they've been together 12 years. And her name is Monique, and her husband's name is Jonathan, the Middletons. And I mean, and he came down the aisle with just what is it? Let's Get Married by Jagged Edge. And he had, you know, they was like dancing down the aisle, and the bridesmaids did this little 2-step down the aisle. And I was like, wow, that's really, you know, that's really who they are. And I said, I wonder why she needed to have all of those bridesmaids, because sometimes I hear that most brides get the pressure of having to include someone, and you really didn't want to, but you didn't want to hurt their feelings. And I'm not sure if that's my cousin's situation, because they're all close, but I think she had like 2 maids of honor and 1 matron of honor.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know, but you know, had that be me, I'd be like, I'm about to be the JP. I just want my song, my Greek song. I want my song from my sorors, and you know, my song from my husband's Greek brothers. So that's what I want.
Yeah.
All right. So go ahead, Jerry. Did you have something else?
No, that was
Okay.
no.
All right, Kie, you ready? We about to put the spotlight on you, girl. We're gonna take a quick break. We're talking to Kie Edwell, the founder of Elephant Song Doulas. Elephant Song Doula Services. We're gonna get the real title, everything right when we take this brief break. This is a short break. Jerry, you're on the clock. You got to count us down because
All right,
LaShawn's not here. So we'll be right back. It's the Hey Girl Hey podcast on Urban Media Today. And I can't see your hand. Okay.
Yeah.
This is too funny. LaShawn, we miss you. We miss you. I just want you to know Jerry sucks at counting to 5. Jerry sucks at counting to 5. So Kie's kind of looking at us like, why are we doing that? So we're live on YouTube. We record live on Thursdays. And then on Saturday, you hear the audio version on Urban Media Today Radio via Live 365 and TuneIn. And that's where we put commercials and sponsors and stuff like that. So that's why we do the countdown.
Oh,
yeah. So you're listening to the Hey Girl Hey podcast. Kie Edwell. Kie Edwell is our guest this week. And she's a Black doula. Yes. And we love our Black doulas. She is the founder of the Elephant Song Doulas. And give us a background. First things first, what is a doula?
So what a doula is,
I'm gonna sip on my juice box. Go ahead.
Oh, yes. A doula is someone who is trained to offer mental, physical, educational, informational, emotional support to expectant people and their families as they're going through their pregnancy, through their actual birth, their labor and birth, and then also postpartum as well. We support with lactation, and a lot of doulas even offer other services to kind of enrich the pregnancy, keep the family healthy and happy, and also to help everybody transition into adding this new member of the family.
I saw on The Chi, I don't know if you watched The Chi, but Keisha,
I'm behind Weinstein.
Well, Carol Keisha got pregnant, child. She got pregnant from the guy that kidnapped her, honey girl.
Ooh.
And she had the baby. And she had the baby at home because it was Emmett's mother. Look at Jerry's face. So Emmett's mother is the doula. And so Emmett's mom was there. And she had the baby in the living room with the mother who was going to adopt the baby, right? And they had a little swimming pool in the living room and everything. Wow. So that's what happens when you have a doula, the swimming pool in the living room.
Well, if that's what you want.
Okay.
So, a good doula is just going to support whatever kind of birth experience you want to have. So if that's your desire to be at home in the comfort of your own home, surrounded by a few loved ones, then that's our job to support you in that. If you are more comfortable in a birth center, or if you're more comfortable in a hospital setting, even there are many women that choose to give birth out in nature at on the beach, a private beach, in the woods. Yes, absolutely. Birth happens everywhere and has happened everywhere.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
A video of a woman. It was on Facebook. And she was on her way to the birthing center. She didn't make it. So her and her husband was on the curb, on the sidewalk. And I guess the midwife came out. She literally had her baby right there. Like she didn't even make the side of the building. Like crazy to me.
So what's the difference between, you said midwife, what's the difference between a doula and a midwife? Is there a difference?
Yes, there is. Okay. There's a big difference. The midwife, different scopes of practice. Your midwife is going to take care of all of your clinical needs, all of the birthing person's clinical needs throughout their pregnancy, and both mom and baby once baby is born. And as I stated with the doula, we focus more on the emotional and the physical, mental needs and all of that good stuff, so that we are, we're not a part of the clinical work, but we're there to help support mom in lots of other ways. And not only mom, but mom support person. If you have, your spouse there with you, your partner there with you, if mom is there with you, other older siblings are there with you, especially in home settings. We are kind of there to help everybody be their best in their role as a part of the birth team.
Okay. Are more women using doulas?
Yes, we're seeing an increase in women in families who are utilizing doulas. It's no secret, the statistics that we have seen in the media and in different reports about how
maternal mortality.
Differently, yes, the Black mortality rate, and how it is so much more detrimental to Black families to have that kind of support. So as more families are learning that advocacy is so very important, and learning to advocate for yourself as you're kind of navigating these healthcare systems that are really not designed for us to thrive and flourish, people are taking the time to educate themselves, and they're looking for ways to kind of connect back to the community, to kind of reinforce the foundation, reinforce the village, and kind of utilize the strength in the village to surround themselves with love, with education, with knowledge, and get their baby here earthside safely, and be able to thrive as a family, and as new parents.
The doula services, are they do hospitals frown on this type of practice? I guess they may, because it takes away money from them.
Well, it's a very
you
sticky
mentioned that doulas
situation.
could go into hospitals too, but go ahead.
Yes. So because hospitals are able to kind of set their own standard with their use of doulas, and how they choose to allow them to support their families in the hospital during labor, and different situations that can arise. We are kind of in a place where we are stepping up to try to get hospitals to kind of work with us rather than kind of push us aside. But what we end up facing a lot of times is we're dealing with, as I said, health systems that aren't designed for us. We're dealing with health systems that are historically racist, historically sexist, and that's just the bottom line. And we are dealing with health systems that are teaching and kind of sending health professionals out into the world that have these misconceptions about birth, about race, about Black women, about Black birthing bodies that are harming people. And so what we're trying to get them to understand is, hey, maybe the negativity, all these deaths are happening on your watch. So we can't look to you only to fix it. So we're going to, at the least, need to have the collaboration. But what I am seeing, and I'm so proud of seeing from so many Black and brown birth workers, is we are not just simply coming to them with hopes of collaboration. We're demanding accountability first. We want you to fix the systems that are already broken first before you try to get us to come and collaborate on new things. We want to make sure that we are not sending ourselves and our clients into environments that are not going to be safe emotionally, mentally, physically, or all of the above. We run the risk of we're, as Black birth workers, we're exposing ourselves to trauma that our white counterparts do not experience. Because when I'm walking in there as a Black woman. I'm walking in there as a Black woman who has given birth. So I have my own personal experiences that I am seeing things through that lens. And then I'm also running the risk of being present as another sister is being traumatized. So there are so many layers to this onion. And we just really want these health systems to be, as open as possible, and saying, hey, there's things out of order that need to be fixed. That's the bottom line.
So is anything even close to being at a start with that and recognizing that? Are they starting to? Are you seeing any changes?
We are. Of course, there's a lot more going on behind the scenes, and there has been for a very long time with the push for legislation and policy change.
Right.
I believe that you know about some of the good work being done right here in Pittsburgh by a lot of Black doulas and Black birth workers.
Yes.
Just the push to get Black and brown families the care that they deserve. So many amazing organizations. Healthy Start Pittsburgh has their free doula program, which I'm a part of. I provide my services to for that organization as well. Beautiful program all around, and I love the doula program especially. But we are seeing the changes. It is absolutely, has been a long time coming, but we are starting to see where doulas are starting to be covered in certain states under insurance. We're not yet here in Pennsylvania, but we are working on it.
You know what? I was talking to Winter Clay about that, and she's the co-founder of Masters of Maternity. I had to make sure I say maternity, not matrimony. Oh my God. I say that all the time, but no, she talked about that and that it wasn't covered by insurance. And I don't understand that because it's because I guess it's a luxury and not a health need, a health necessity.
Well, the numbers are clear that it is a health necessity. I think the more, it boils down to the fact that hospitals are going to have major overhauls, because this is not going to be just, you're going to sit in an afternoon seminar and then whoop, you're all good. You're great. You get the seal of approval. We are right. Very intentionally wanting people not just to, throw doulas into their hospitals, but to educate their patients about what the benefits of doulas, not just to the expectant parent, but also to the baby, to the mom. Birth outcomes are much better when you have doula support for couples. And unfortunately, hospitals don't always see the positivity in that, because there are some, there's systems and procedures of their own that are now being interrupted. When you have parents that are informed about the process of birth, when you have parents and pregnant people that are informed about all of their options and all of their choices, it's a little bit more difficult to kind of sway people to do what you want them to do. And a lot of times when these health systems are more interested in kind of filling beds and getting more patients in, and, making sure that someone can be home by dinner, or they're not missing their family's Christmas morning, when they're more concerned with those things,
than the health of their
so
patient.
Much so that we are watching people are getting unnecessary cesarean sections, and you're
dying.
Right. And dying, and implementing unnecessary medical interventions that slow down natural birthing processes. You can kind of see where there's a conflict of interest at the very least.
Wow.
So unfortunately, that's a tug of war that we really wish we didn't have to be a part of.
Is that where Elephant Song comes in? Is that what happens?
That is exactly where Elephant Song comes in. Yeah.
Talk more about that.
Your process work. So even though I'm not, but let's just say I was pregnant and I'm like,
is this breaking news? Are we?
This just in.
For the record, your girl is not pregnant.
Okay. So, I've been asking for a baby. I'm like, I need somebody to have a baby now. My son won't do it. I need a baby.
If I was pregnant and I say, hey, see a doula, and I found you guys, how does the process start from beginning to the end?
Well, why don't you talk on behalf of your business?
For my process for my company, for example, if you wanted to hire me in particular, there is a link that I have that goes to a new client form that collects all your information, and it's sent to me through my client management system. It's sent to me, and I'm able to get all of that information, your demographic, any information you're comfortable sharing about your current pregnancy. If you had past pregnancies, you might share a little bit of that. And then we would schedule a consultation. A consultation could be virtual, could be face-to-face, now that we're opening our new facility. And I would get to know you, get to know your closest support people, get to know your family, your needs, and your desires for your birth. And throughout your pregnancy, if we meet and you're like, yes, I would love to have one of your doulas from Elephant Song, me or somebody else, and you decide to go ahead and become our client, then we would help you get a birth plan in place. We would educate you on the process of birth. And all throughout your pregnancy, you would be receiving information. You would be receiving emotional support, encouragement. We will have one-on-one sessions where we meet for prenatal visits to make sure that your visit with your provider has gone well. Make sure that I'm caught up on any information, any changes or updates in your pregnancy. Literally a companion for you throughout your entire pregnancy. And then, of course, I'm on call for you 2 weeks before your estimated due date and 2 weeks after. I'm here for you in those crucial moments of your entire labor and your birth. And then those very delicate times in postpartum. We can also add on lactation services that are one-on-one, virtually or in person. We can also add on any extra postpartum support separate from the birth and immediate postpartum support. And we're looking to expand to do so much more in the community. We have not just the office space, we have co-working space available for Black birth workers in the city, exclusively for Black birth workers.
Nice.
We also have a separate classroom and flex space that we're going to be using. I will be teaching from, and it will also be available to rent as event space if you would like to host a seminar, if you would like to have an amazing space to record a Zoom meeting, or we could even do, I don't know, I was thinking maybe some art exhibits with Black artists from the city. I don't know, maybe a couple.
You know.
But
I wish you were around when I was pregnant. I wish you were around.
I hear that so much. I
laugh because it was it's a go-to when you have a baby. Mm-hmm. You know, you're pregnant here in Pittsburgh. Where do you go? McGee. You go to McGee. That's where your mother went. That's where her mother went. That's where her mother's mother. And, you know, for as long as McGee's been around. And that's just, if there were no questions asked, that's where you went. That or West Penn, I think. I don't know. But when I had my son, the nurse asked if I wanted to breastfeed. And I was just like, you know, I'm ignorant. I'm so ignorant, not recognizing the importance of the bond and the how healthy it is for the baby, and did not know. And so I tried, and he would not latch on. But she didn't
like coach
help me. She didn't coach me. She didn't encourage me.
Right.
I just tried it, and he was like, and I was like, okay, whoop, put him back. Like didn't really think about it. And I was like, wow, would it have been different if I had a doula, you know, help me through that process? Because Jerry, if you're ever thinking about having a baby, trust me, when you have a baby at the hospital, they're gonna be like, okay, this is your baby.
Yeah.
This is how you wrap the baby. This is how you change the baby. If you want to breastfeed, we're going to teach you that. Maybe, I guess, I don't know. I didn't go that far, but anyway, so, and then here's your baby. Good luck.
Yeah, that's it. It's the follow care that they don't do, you know.
Well, I remember sitting on the couch and Vaughn was a baby and we were both crying. And I was like, what am I doing? And I wasn't a 16-year-old. I was 24 at the time when I had my son. So I was like, oh my God. So yeah, what you do is super important. What are the biggest misconceptions of doulas?
I think the biggest misconception, a lot of times I get the question, people think that doulas and midwives are the same thing. So that's usually the biggest misconception. And it's, you know, it's really simple to kind of just let people know that we work in tandem. We work with your provider, whether that's a midwife or an OBGYN. We're not there to push anybody out. We're there to complement the birth team and help. And, like I said, be that companion. And unfortunately, as you mentioned, Kiki, a lot of us just don't know.
Yep.
And so a lot of times when we are informed, we can make better choices. If we have no idea of our options, then we are literally just depending on, whoever's in a white coat to tell me whatever. And you just, there's an assumption that this person knows what they're talking about. But a lot of times, they are not as well versed in the natural process of birth, because with obstetrics, as a practice, they are taught to kind of fix problems, fix issues, and kind of keep emergencies from getting out of hand. So when you're kind of going into birth with that mindset, it kind of can throw you off, because the natural process of labor takes time. The natural process of labor involves pain and discomfort and, all kinds of different sensations. If you have no idea and you are thrown into this, your body, your mind, your nervous system literally, needs as much support as possible, and as much preparation as possible. This is a journey. Your pregnancy is a journey. Your breastfeeding journey is going to be one that is going to be unique, and proper support is going to make all the difference. And that's exactly what I want Elephant Song to be to all of these families in the city. And with our virtual services, we can, offer these things to families all over. But of course, at the core is always going to be Black moms as our priority.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Say, so for your clients, most of them, are they first-time mothers or mothers who've done this before? Or would you recommend, is it recommended that women have doulas who are first-time mothers, or, for anyone?
Can you even do that? Yeah.
Every pregnancy, because every pregnancy is different.
Right.
And you could be on baby number 6. And I've had clients that are on baby number 6, and this is their first doula experience.
Right.
And it doesn't matter how many children you've had. You deserve the support every time. Number one, we'll start there. You just deserve the support, because birth is a marathon, and you want to know that whoever is with you for the entire thing, is with you for the long haul. And I think every birthing person deserves that. But aside from that, I think that we have to understand that for so long, women have kind of had to be looked at as, have had to look so strong and had to look like they're so capable of handling everything. And that has trickled down so terribly into birth that, we're worried about how soon, mothers can get back to work, where, we're not supporting them in that 4th trimester, which is the postpartum stage, that everything is so delicate. We're not supporting families in bringing another baby into the family and teaching them how to best transition, how to just care for a new baby. A new human needs all kind of stuff. And, if you just don't have that, it can be tough. And I feel like everybody deserves to have that. It's just, it takes a village. And Elephant Song is just trying to bring the village back. We need it.
Real quick, we have like 5 minutes. Why Elephant Song Doula? So why the name? That's a beautiful name, but it's very intriguing. What's the story?
Yeah, I love telling the story because first, elephants are my favorite animal. And so I do a lot of, documentaries and, stories and all that good stuff. I just love animals and elephants. And they have amazing birthing practices. It sounds super weird because
elephants do?
To me.
Okay.
To me. One thing that I love is all of the females in the herd. When you have one of the female elephants that are pregnant, they surround her the entire time she's in labor and giving birth to protect her and the baby from any predators, to keep them safe, keep mom from accidentally stepping on baby. Elephants are big. But then also once the new calf is born, the elephants that have surrounded all lift their trunks and trumpet and literally let out a song, like a celebration. And when I found that, I was like,
look at God.
Wow, this is what everybody deserves. This is what everybody deserves, to be surrounded by love, joy, encouragement, empathy, compassion, all of that good stuff. You deserve to be pampered and babied and taken care of. You are carrying life. And there should be joy when that kid comes, because this is a new life. And I feel like everybody deserves to feel that. Everybody deserves to kind of experience that, and bring their child into the world with peace and love and surrounded by that. Exactly. Exactly. I'm just out here, trying to recreate the Lion King,
I love this, Kie. Thank you so much. There's so much more, but we are out of time. I need you to let us know how the community can support you. Are there internships available, jobs available? How can we reach you to ask more questions? There may be someone from a news outlet watching. I'm going to say someone maybe from ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, whatever. They could be watching.
The letters.
Yeah, let's put it in the atmosphere. So give us the details. How can we reach you, and website, all that?
Yes. So our website is elephantsongdoulas.com. We can be emailed at elephantsongdoulas@gmail.com. And you can find me. I am always teaching, always providing childbirth education for the culture on TikTok.
Yes, she is.
Instagram, Facebook. And we will be launching the YouTube channel soon. Well, the YouTube channel is launched, but everything is at Your Black Doula. All the social media platforms, you can find me there.
And especially check in on Titty Tuesdays.
Titty Tuesdays, that's my favorite. Breastfeeding myths, we bust them.
I laugh because we say Jerry got them bigger critters, so we don't. She be like,
Titty Tuesday.
Child, Titty Tuesday. She's talking about breastfeeding. Okay.
We ain't casting out no bees.
We ain't putting out no. Yeah, Thelma and Louise will not be making any appearances on the show. Kie Edwell, thank you so much, founder of the Elephant Song Doula. And we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for sharing. I immediately from the gate, I called you the doula chick, because it makes sense. I love it. At the end of every show, when we have a guest, we give them a chick name. And we're going to call you, we are naming you the doula chick. You're our first doula on the show. And so, the welcome mat is out and the invite is open if you ever want to come back and just hang out with us.
Anytime.
Especially to talk about hot topics and answer some fan mail, child. Because
listen, I don't mind discussing a little tea.
Listen. Anyway, this is the Hey Girl Hey podcast. Oh, Jerry, why don't you tell everybody how they can find past episodes?
So to listen to past episodes of the Hey Girl Hey podcast, we are on so many platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Live 365, SoundCloud, YouTube, Anchor FM, Podbean, Google Play, and everyday.com. And I know there's more, but those are ones I can think of.
All right. And if you wanted to reach out to us, email the Hey Girl Hey podcast @gmail.com or call 412-709-6130. We are on social media, Girl Hey 2018 on Twitter. That's what they gave us. That's what we got. The Hey Girl Hey podcast on Facebook and Hey Girl Hey podcast 2018 on IG. I'm your radio chick, Kiki Brown.
I'm your millennial chick, Cheer.
And we got the doula chick in the building. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Kie, your Black doula Edwell.
Hey, that's right. Urban Media Today Talk Sports is next. This is the Hey Girl Hey podcast on Urban Media Today. Thanks.
Peace.